Hi, everybody. This is Dennis Brown with FreightBrokerBootCamp.com. I'm shooting video number 7 in my 10-part video series where I talk about the top 10 mistakes to avoid when becoming a freight broker or a freight agent. And mistake number 7 today that I'm going to go over is called letting your fear of failure hold you back. That's one of the biggest mistakes freight brokers and freight agents make. It's not only freight brokers and freight agents, but it's entrepreneurs and wantrepreneurs alike. It's people all around the world from every culture. Their fear of failure holds them back. It doesn't matter whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a truck driver, someone who's, working as a dispatcher, or, someone that's just interested in starting their own freight brokerage. Letting fear hold you back is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make when getting started as a broker. So, again, we did the top 10 mistakes to avoid when starting a freight brokerage or a freight agency, and the feedback was great. So number 7, we're going to hone in on today, which is letting the fear of failure hold you back. So the biggest mistake that most entrepreneurs make is being afraid to fail. I've already covered that, but let me dive into it a little bit deeper. I guess it comes down to the fear of the unknown. They're more comfortable with what they have than what they might have, right? And it goes back to that old adage, it's the devil I know versus the devil I don't. It's the fear of the unknown. That stops a lot of people from pursuing their dreams. There's no success without failure. That's what you have to understand. You learn absolutely nothing from winning, but you can learn everything from losing. And so, I have young kids. I have 2 young daughters. And listen, the reality is I want them to understand. I'd love it when they win, but I try to help them understand that you learn more when you lose than when you win. And so the same thing goes for business. And the best way to overcome fear that I've found in my career, 20 years as an entrepreneur and an athlete and a parent, is, to move towards it. Whatever you fear, move towards it and do what you fear repeatedly. If you're afraid of making phone calls, sales calls, do more sales calls. You'll get more comfortable with it. And after you do about 100, that fear will be significantly less. It may not ever go away. There's always a little bit of anxiety around a sales call because there's a little bit of unknown there. But you can overcome your fears by steering into those fears. And so today I wanted to share with you a couple of my favorite quotes about failure. Winners are not afraid of losing, but losers are. Failure is part of the process of success. People who avoid failure also avoid success. That's by the great Robert Kiyosaki. Here's a couple of failures that you might be familiar with. Talk a little bit about these guys. Albert Einstein. He wasn't able to speak until he was almost 4 years old, and his teachers said he would never amount to much. Albert Einstein. Okay, that's Albert Einstein. Michael Jordan, after being cut from his high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. He got cut from his high school basketball team and turned out to be one of the most prolific basketball players in the history of the game. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. How crazy is that? Steve Jobs, at 30 years old, he was left devastated and depressed after being unceremoniously removed from the company he started. I mean, he got fired. I don't know if you guys realize this, but he got fired from Apple. He got fired from Apple and then started some other businesses and came back later to take over Apple and bring it to where, to the greatness of the iPhone and the iPad and all those things that came out and we know about today. Oprah Winfrey was demoted from her job as a news anchor because she wasn't a fit for television. This lady's a billionaire media mogul who was fired as a news anchor. And the Beatles, last but not least, were rejected by Decca Recording Studios, who said, we don't like their sound and they have no future in show business. That's the Beatles. So, the point is, and it says it best here on the bottom, if you've never failed, you've never tried anything new. So, I appreciate you guys tuning in. And in closing here, just for watching, I have a free bonus for you. It's my free ebook called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Freight Brokers. It's been downloaded over 5,000 times. Just go to FreightBrokerBootCamp.com and you'll get directed on how to get your free copy of that ebook. Again, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Freight Brokers. It's an ebook. It's free for you. Just go to www.freightbrokerbootcamp.com. And if you guys like these videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because more videos will be coming out in this 10-part series and even beyond that. Subscribe to this channel and you'll get notified. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.